Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're here with video number 11 in a series of videos on our Apache helicopter PC theme build. And if you remember in our last video, video number 10, we assembled our Aorus all-in-one liquid cooler. So what we're going to do today is we're going to install that cooler into our T600 Thermotake case. So without ado, let's get her done. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this up into the top of the case with one hand and try to put one of the screws in with the other, at least get one started. And I want to make sure that we don't get any of our wires from our fans caught between the radiator and the PC case. Okay, we got one screw started. This is what these screws look like right here. Got a washer that goes on them. They come with the screw kit in the case. Let me try to get a second one of these started. Going to be 12 of these altogether. I'm going to actually adjust this a little bit more forward. There we go, that's better. Okay, we got two screws holding that, so we're in pretty good shape right now. So I'm going to put a couple more of these in. And then what we'll do is we'll attach our pump to our headers on our CPU backing plate. You also want to take a quick visual too and make sure you didn't pinch any wires between your radiator and your case. Like I said, there's 12 of these all together, just like the other side of the radiator where we installed our fans. So okay, we got our radiator up inside there. I'll tighten the screws up a little bit later. But what we want to do now is we want to make sure we get our wires for our fans and our LEDs. We want to make sure we get those out of the way, because we don't want to pinch them between our cooler either. So here you have your 4 standoffs that we installed earlier, in another video that held our CPU backing plate on. So hopefully, take our wires, stick them inside the case there. And the way we want this to mount on there is like so, right there. Because if you start with these these lines facing up or down, your LCD will be off. It won't be straight up and down, and you can't control that in the software. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So we got to remember to take our plastic cover off. And like I mentioned earlier, this comes factory with the thermo paste already on it. You can see there. So what we want to do is carefully set this on those 4 standoffs. There we got the 2 top ones in. I'm going to have to turn this so I can see it a little bit better. Like I said, this takes a lot of patience and 4 hands, and I only have 2, so get a couple of these thumb screws started to hold this in place so we don't lose it. Then I'll turn it around and show you what it looks like. Okay, we got 2 of them in. We got 2 more. Okay. Okay, there you go. We got our pump mounted onto our standoffs that are screwed into our backing plate behind our CPU. And this is our wiring harness for it. And these are the wiring harness for our fan. That noise you heard when I spun that case around was our hard drive pocket that we're going to install also. Okay, so there you go. We got our pump installed. And I'm not going to plug these wires in now because, like I said, I'm going to probably do the cable management offline or off camera because I can't figure a way to do it without getting myself in the way. and blocking your view. Okay, so let's spin our case around. And my buddy Oz, he's doing his job, keeping us safe. Okay, one other thing I wanted to show you today is this side pocket. I already took one of them off the bracket, and that's where our 2.5 solid state drives are going to go, or storage drives. They go on there. You know what? Okay, so let me show you one of these 2.5 storage drives. These are made by Kingston. These are 500 gigabytes a piece, and we're going to be using 3 of these. And what these do is they set inside the pockets on this bracket like so. And then you have your SATA power and your SATA data on the bottom. So we're going to install 3 of these. So I already installed one on the bracket off camera. And then we're going to install one here. And we're going to install one here. And what this does is this mounts on a computer case like so. So okay, back to our Kohler mount. Whenever you tighten these Kohlers down on your CPU standoffs, you want to tighten them in a cross pattern. A couple turns a piece until it bottoms out, and then snug them up pretty good. I mean, don't over tighten them, but you know, take your long reach bit screwdriver, you know, and give them a nice, you know, tug. Don't over tighten them. Just make sure they're, you know, they're snug down pretty good. And we want to do that in the cross pattern with all 4 of those. We're going to leave our protective cover on our LCD until we're all done. One of the things I wanted to show you on this pump wiring that we mentioned in an earlier video is this USB 2.0 that plugs into our motherboard. Where that's going to go is on one of these 2 headers right here. We have one here and we have one here. I don't know how well you can see that, but we kind of got a little problem because we have one of these for our communications from our motherboard to our pump in our software. And we also have one that comes from our control module that's going to control these thermotake fans. So that's going to take up both of these USB 2.0 headers that are on the motherboard. But we need one more because we have a USB 2.0 on our case panel right here. This goes on top of the Thermotake T600 case. You can see we got a USB-C, we got two USB 3.0s, and we got one USB 2.0. And of course you got your audio inputs and your power switch and your reset switch. So we're short a USB 2.0. And so the way I got around this is you can buy these splitters right here. Show you one of these. And what this does, it splits one of those USB headers that's on your motherboard. It splits one into two. And it comes with a little harness so you can locate it out of the way. So what I think we'll do is we'll locate ours down here, right below where the factory ones are. And then we'll have enough USB 2 headers to power all our components up that require it. So there's always a way to get around stuff. So I actually had these on hand because before I started building this computer, I kind of like drew out a plan on everything I was going to need. And so I knew I was going to be short one USB 2 header, so I went ahead and ordered one of those. And something else that we got in yesterday is we got our TT Sync controller. And what this does is this is going to sync all our thermotake fans, our front intake fans and our side exhaust fans, and our LEDs that's on our motherboard. It's going to sync all those together so we can control everything off our Gigabyte Fusion 2.0 software. So yeah, I don't have to run two of these modules anymore. You only have to use one now. And this will hold 9 fans, or say, 6 fans and 3 LED strips. But it'll accept 3 of one, 3 of another, then 3 of another, or 9 of the same. Whatever, however you want to do it. But yeah, this is just recent out, and I figured we'd get this to make the build a lot easier, because now we'll be able to control all our lighting off of one piece of software instead of 2 or 3. We'll be installing that in a future video also. That's actually going to be part of all our wire management. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to do the wire management on camera, because like I said, I just can't figure a way to do it without getting myself in the way of the camera. And it's really tedious and time consuming. But what I'll do is, once I get it all done, and then I'll do a presentation on how it all looks. And like I said, there's a glass case or a glass door on the left side of this case. And so our wire management's going to have to look pretty neat. So we got our radiator installed. We got our cooler installed onto the CPU. And now the only components we have to install is these 2.5 SSD drives. And other than that, there isn't any other major components we have to install in this computer. The rest is going to be power management, our cable management, and we have to install our video card too yet, but I'll do that very last. I'll do a special video just on that graphics card installation. Like I said, we have a NVIDIA RTX 3060 OC graphics card for in this. And then we'll put all our sheet metal back on our case, like our windshield and our side windows, and put our air scoops back on. And what I'll also do in this video is you turn this case around. I'm going to install this bracket that holds all our solid state drives. Basically, it's got two slots, and it's got these two pegs, these bent pegs that stick out. And all you do is just stick those 90-degree bent pegs. You stick those into those slots in the case, and you just snap it in place like that. And then you have a thumb screw that looks like this, and it goes in the back, and it holds that in place. Like I said, I already took one of these pockets off and installed a 2.5 drive in it, like that. And like I said, we're going to be installed two more of these. And then all these do is you just slide onto the bracket, like so. And that's also held in with a thumb screw right here. So we'll have 1, 2, 3 of those, and our SATA power and our SATA data wires will be coming out of the bottom of that. Like so. Pretty straightforward. Like I said, building a regular computer, you wouldn't have all this. I mean, unless you really wanted to, you basically may have one of these, but your best bet is M.2 storage drives that we installed earlier. I think probably in our second video that went in here. So we have one primary drive right here that's going to hold our Windows operating system, which is going to be Windows 11. And then we're going to have a backup drive for that right here, our secondary drive. And then we'll have 3 500 gig backup drives that we can put on, whatever you want to put on there. You can put on, whatever you want on them. You can use them as backups, or you could use one for pictures, one for say music, and one to hold all your videos. And these are 500 gig, but you can buy these in really large sizes, like 1, 2, and 3 terabyte. But they get pretty expensive, so you can buy these in larger capacities. But 500 gigs a piece, that gave us 1 terabyte and 500 gigs just right there. So I thought that was plenty. And then our primary M.2 drive right here, that's a 500 gig drive. And this secondary drive down here, that's a 1 terabyte drive. So this one, like I said, will hold the operating system and all your programs and apps. And then you can use this one for backup or storage, whatever you want to use them for. I mean, it's all customizable, and it's whatever you want to do with it. Basically, though, I think we have all our major components installed, other than our graphics card, like I said, but we'll do a separate video on that graphics card. So now I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do all our cable management and plug everything in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to test fire this one more time after we get all our wires plugged in. I'm not going to do the cable management until we test fire it one more time. And I'm not going to use the graphics card either. I'm going to use this onboard this HDMI output right here. And I'm going to run that into a capture card so you can see it, like we did when we test fired the motherboard before we put it in the case. So yeah, so what I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to get a lot of this stuff all plugged in. And our next video, what we'll do is what we're doing in our next video, then we'll test fire it up and make sure everything works okay. And now that we have our cooler on there, we don't have to worry about shutting it down right away. We can get into our BIOS and install our well, not install, but set our optimize defaults, and install our Windows operating system. We'll do that too. And once I know that everything's working right and there is no issues with it at all, and then we'll do a video on installing that graphics card. And then I'll probably do one last presentation video on the whole build where everything's lit up and completely done. So I think that's going to be it for this video. I want to thank everybody for watching, and have a great day and a great evening. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.